How's it going? My name is Paul Greeley. This video is for discussion board 1 for History 300. The first question that we have is, how does one apply a Christian worldview to the study of history other than what is contained in the Bible? The first thing that came to my mind for that was the verse Colossians 1:17, where it's speaking of Christ, and it says, "He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." And what that means to me is that history, anything else in the world, cannot be apart from Christ. Christ holds everything together, and if you're going to have a Christian worldview, you have to know that Christ is the center of history. He's making one big story, right, and we're just a small part of it. Also, while going through and studying, Dr. Sam Smith talked about how we have to seek to glorify God in his historical research. And so for Christians, we can't go in and be biased, right? We have to be committed to objectivity and honesty. The second question, what aspects of the Christian intellectual tradition do you find particularly helpful in studying history from a Christian worldview? Dr. Sam Smith also summarized the 9 principles of Christian worldview. He says it's these 3 things. He says God is over all of history. Man is made in the image of God, which is 2-part. We can reason and think logically, and we can also be creative. And history abounds with the evidence that man is not sovereign. So that intellect right there, we just know that since God is over all of history, right, he started history. Knowing that information, we're able to go into it knowing that history will be good because God is good. And also that man is made in the image of God. We can go through and we can study history. We can understand it. We can understand it logically, but also we can communicate it creatively. And the last part, that history abounds with evidence that man is not sovereign. We don't get to control history. God does.